Oh my God, you guys. Looks like we are starting season 5, and we're talking about it all. We're talking about all those theme park vibes. That's right. Did I just completely blow out your ears, Bella?
Yes.
New mic. I'm sorry. But anyway, speaking of those theme park vibes, if you've seen Strange Things, she's seen Stranger. Coming in with those totally tubular vibes is Bella Harvey.
What up?
And it's feeling mostly ghostly, these chills entering the room. Who let the ghosts out? It appears the happy haunts have received some sympathetic vibrations from Kelly Hoffman.
Hey, hello everyone.
And we do the best for our own clientele, our patrons. Special thank you to our patrons, Jen Harvey, Dwayne and Teresa Diker, Jonathan Edward, Landon Kanoki, Jordan Buster, Joshua Gonzalez, and Greg Harvey. That's all of them, I think.
Yes, you did get them all. I was
Cool.
worried you were going to forget Greg Harvey.
No, I could never.
We
never
will
forget
never,
Greg Harvey.
Mr.
ever.
Greenbeard.
Mr. Greenbeard himself.
But yes, special thank you to those patrons. We are super humbled by your patronage and your support for us. If you want to join the Patreon and get some bonus episodes and all that jazz, updates and more, join our Patreon at patreon.com/themeparkworkshop. But as I said before, what are starting season 5 with episode 47? We're talking about the theme park vibes. As you go into 2024, what we want to lay the foundation, because theme parks are more than rides, theme parks are more than shows, theme parks are also about those vibes. So we're going to talk about our favorite theme park vibes.
So the first one that always comes to mind, and I've said this for so long, but Hollywood Studios, specifically at night, no matter the season, no matter anything, is the best vibes you will get in a theme park. There's just something about sitting on Sunset Boulevard on the benches at night, listening to It's Been a Long, Long Time in the best pre-show loop with distant screams in the background. It's just like my favorite thing in the world, and that really made me fall in love with Hollywood Studios. I wasn't really that big of a fan of it before. My apologies. But then I sat on Sunset Boulevard one night and I was like, oh my God, I get it now. I get it. And then my other one, it's quick. I don't have as much to say about it, unfortunately. But SeaWorld during Christmas is the best. It is the best. It's so joyful and like there's just a lot going on. And they're always playing the Glee soundtrack, the Glee Christmas soundtrack. They're always playing it constantly. I'm always being jump scared by Will Schuester. But I enjoy it because it's Christmas. But those are my best theme park vibes. Slay.
Those are very good choices. I would go even further with Hollywood Studios and say that one of my favorite vibes is in Batuu, but especially at night. I mean, during the day is great as well. You get lots of character interactions. I feel like they did a really good job with that area because in most parts of the area, I mean, I know there's spots where you can see like other things in the park, but there's a lot of areas where it just actually feels like you're in a different world. Like there's a lot of open space, which I was very impressed by when I first went there. And like it just, I don't know, the walls are high and it just feels like you're somewhere else. I like the music that plays in like the marketplace area. The food is fun. Like if you have not had their quick service, it's really good. I get the kids mac and cheese with the fried chicken and the broccoli, and it's so good. It's a good portion and it's delicious. I love Oga's. I don't go there a lot just because of like getting a reservation. It's easier now, but it's also expensive. I spend at least $80 when my husband and I go there. So other than the prices of the detonator cokes and drinks and other food items that I want to buy.
What's a detonator Coke?
It's just a regular Coke, Diet Coke, or Pepsi, but they're shaped like a thermal detonator, so it's round.
Oh, the bottles. I
Yeah,
thought
the
this was
bottles.
a drink. Oh my God. I thought this was a
No.
drink at Oga's. Obviously. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, it's way more exciting than it sounds. But they just taste better for some reason. But they're like $8 because it's got the little plastic piece on the top. But they should make Coke cocktails at Oga's. That would be sick. But anyway, I like the vibes. I like the character interactions. It's really pretty at nighttime. So highly recommend that. I also like the vibes at if you go to Baseline Tap House and you get yourself a $10 little charcuterie board for one or two people, and you go just sit in that little courtyard area with or without a little drinky drink. They also have big pretzels there. It's delightful. I have heard it's nice to read a book out there, so I'm gonna take my e-reader next time and chill in that area. The music is nice, the vibes are nice. You can people watch. Also,
The drinks are good.
I'm just going to talk about Hollywood Studios for like an hour probably because there's also good vibes in the sci-fi restaurant, the sci-fi drive-in, whatever it's called. Love that place. And it's just cute. The food is not my favorite, but I always get like the buffalo wings appetizer. The vibes are nice while you're waiting. You get like some little popcorn like you're at the movie theater while you're waiting for your reservation to be called. You get called back there, you get to sit in a little car, and then you get to watch all these like old cartoons and stuff. It's really cute. Tom and Jerry, always a vibe.
Hollywood Studios has the best vibes because both of us have said
Yes.
it. Like, I think we've covered 90% of the park. Like, it's just the best.
And I think another part that's great about Hollywood Studios, I don't want to interrupt you, Kelly, but I just wanted to like add on to what you're saying with Hollywood Studios and this like Batuu is like that courtyard area. The pictures you take there are great because it's just perfectly framed if you get it right and stuff. And then you can have some Joffrey's iced coffee. You can have some blue milk if that's the way you roll. Not many do. But if you're one of those people, you can. And then it's just like being in Star Wars. That's always cool.
I love it. I was actually going to ask you if you had any Hollywood Studios good vibes, Adam, before I moved on.
Yeah, I think honestly, like the marketplace area of Batuu is pretty great. Like that's probably like peak vibes over at Hollywood Studios for me. I'm like trying to think through all the other because there's like the weird parts, like the ABC commissary area. Like, why is this a thing?
Real.
Yeah, no, I'd say I would agree with Bot too. Yeah, but I think oh, you know what? Hearing the old music in Sunset Boulevard, which I think Bella you mentioned, I agree with that. I'm in agreement with your Hollywood Studios picks. Those are some peak vibes.
It's like Christmas time, the vibes around where Gertie is with like the Christmas tree and all the lights in the water is really nice. Gertie is the dinosaur that at Christmas time has a Santa Claus hat, if you didn't know.
The
You don't
vintage
know
Christmas.
So cute.
It's just the best. Now that we don't have dream lights anymore in Magic Kingdom, which the Christmas decorations in studios are the best.
And now that we don't have Osborne lights,
See, I never saw that.
they were beautiful.
So I have no memories of it.
Well, speaking of studios, I think my like peak vibes park is Universal Studios, Florida. Because I haven't been to Hollywood, I haven't been international, so we're just going to talk about Studios Florida as far as I'm concerned. It's like the park that for me feels most like home, and that is how I and Jonathan, used to host the show, friend of mine, patron, all that. He and I were talking, and like we kind of came to the agreement that like Universal Studios Florida for us is like it's great vibes like between the two parks. Islands is probably the better park, we were talking, and because it's got the peak thrill rides, it's got more detail and whatnot. But something about studios, Universal Studios, it just feels like home when I walk in. And granted, like it's probably like the more front half of the park. Like I love ET. Actually, ET is probably included with that, and I love Men in Black. So I guess anything but Simpsons. I don't know. But no, just walking in, it's just like very cozy, it's relaxed, and maybe it's because like you're not seeing those big roller coasters, or at least those big roller coasters you like, so your adrenaline's not getting pumped up, or at least mine. And so like, oh, I can just go like ride ET or see some great shows and whatnot. But I think I also love to, I mean, the music, the park loops, or the area loops for studios are just like, it's kind of like Sunset Boulevard but like all over. But there's also like all those like little details, like the Boris Schuster window on Delancey. Like I look up, and I'm like, oh, Boris, what are your stories? And like there's other like windows and there's other decorations. And then when you add the tribute stores, that just adds more like atmosphere and story and whatnot. A lot of fun like little details. Like there's a Portofino Bay Easter egg in the San Francisco area and stuff. So it's just like very cool to see everything connect. And another thing too, like wide open spaces. Islands of Adventure does not have the same wide open spaces in comparison. So it just does feel like more relaxed and strolly, and maybe part of it is like HHN happens there, which that's a whole vibe, a whole different vibe, not cozy vibes, but just like I feel at home vibes. Yeah, very spooky, very cool, very awesome. Love HHN, but maybe like my love of HHN vibe spills over into like this is where it happens with Universal Studios. It's not like one particular spot in studios. It's just like the whole for me, I think. Um, but yeah, that's probably like my number one vibe. My number two is probably Pandora, the World of Avatar. Like that land specifically, kind of like what you were saying with like Batuu, with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Like you walk in and you just it feels different. But with like Pandora, whether you love, because I fell in love with the land before I fell in love with the movies. I had seen the first one, but I wasn't like, yeah, Avatar. But then like just going in, it feels very transportative, like immersive. Not just in like, oh, look at all this detail, but more like just like in a spiritual sense, I think. And I think that kind of continues through when you go onto like Flight of Passage, which is a vibe in and of itself. You know, if you like let yourself be taken in on that experience and everything, it helps you enjoy Navi River Journey after you get through that hour and a half wait and stuff. Because it just feels, I love Animal Kingdom, but it does feel very different once you walk out. And it was like kind of the first land that like I was like not homesick, that's not the right word, but like I really missed it. I'm like, man, I wish I could go back specifically to Pandora before I had a Disney pass. Yeah, it's just like a really, really great land that is like a transcendental, that's the word, a transcendental vibe. So like I love the cozy vibes, I love the haunty vibes, and I like this transcendental vibe that I get over at Pandora, the World of Avatar.
I love that. It's funny because when I think about vibes, I get very overwhelmed sometimes in the parks. So I like very much think of like specific areas. Like when you mentioned Horror Nights, I thought about vibing at actually the Peacock Bar was a really nice vibe last year, like hanging out over there with the characters that would roam around and like just chilling in the dark over there. I have many fond memories of taking breaks there, sitting down with friends, because you do not sit very much at Horror Nights. It is like standing and walking the whole entire time. So getting to just sit down, vibe with a snack or a drink or whatever
Watch
you're feeling.
the same movie trailers over and over again.
Yes, exactly. It's just nice. They had comfy chairs. It was actually much quieter than I thought it would be over there. And it was just a nice vibe. And sometimes you'd be interrupted by David Pumpkins, which was also a vibe.
Or Tim Tracker.
Or Tim Tracker.
I
I almost called him Dave Pumpkins, like we're on like a nickname basis. I don't know why I did that, but
y'all are on we're all on a nickname basis with David S. Pumpkin.
That was his nickname in college, Dave Pumpkins.
Dave Pumpkins,
Dave.
exactly. He added the S more recently. Anyway, but some of my favorite places to vibe are Epcot. Like, well, first of all, the boardwalk, which is not at Epcot, but it's like Epcot adjacent. I love that area. There are really good margaritas over there. There's nice like benches to sit by the water. You can take the boat around. It's just nice. The resorts over there are nice too, but I like hanging out over there. Abracadabra and the piano bar, Jelly Rolls. There's just some really cool places to hang and vibe over there. So I love that area, especially at night. But if you are in this Zoom call, which is only you two, you would see that my background is Morocco in Epcot, and I think that Morocco is a really nice place to vibe. They have very good naan bread, first of all, that is sold year round, so get you some of that. The Florida Blue Lounge was really nice too, and they had free AHA water and other drinks. The other drinks were fine, but the waters were nice. They were full size. They gave me the can. So Florida Blue, if you're listening, please do that again. But that was a nice place to escape in the AC. But there's an area in the back there. Please don't everyone flood this place at once because it's my favorite. But it's over where you can get the sangria. If you don't know this, if you walk back there, it's like by the Jasmine meet and greet. There's an area that's under like a cover and you can get sangria. You have to get two at a time. So it's either my husband and I getting them together or him drinking two of them if I'm not in the mood. But the sangria is delicious.
Why do you have to get two?
Because they make it's a scam. But they make it in like a pitcher. So they're like, oh, you have to get two. They could totally make it with just one, but it's so that they can sell more sangria, I think. It's weird, but it's delicious though, and they make it in front of you.
Interesting. Everyone talks about how good that sangria is, so
Oh,
I
it's
need
so
to
good.
get back there and try it.
Yeah, there's a nice seating area back there, so you can get you some naan bread, get some sangria, bring a friend or double fist it. I won't judge either way, and then just sit back there and relax. We went with family over Christmas time, and it wasn't like Christmas, so it wasn't crazy yet, but it was like beginning of December, late November, and it was really nice because the kids were getting tired and the parents were getting tired, and Kevin and I don't have any children, so we just escaped for a little bit while they were like, getting things settled, and we just had a drink and sat by ourselves and had like a little date moment, and it was really nice. So highly recommend Morocco, especially in the back there. And honestly, I feel like the new connections area is a vibe, especially if you hit it at the right time of day. I had a remote work day last Monday, and I worked at Epcot because I had to do an event, which I'll tell you guys about soon. But you guys being the listeners, the other co-hosts already know. But I did a media event for us that night, and I had to be over in Orlando, and nobody wants to fight Orlando traffic at 4 o'clock in the afternoon from Tampa area. So I just worked from Epcot all day, which was great because I got to ride Cosmic Rewind. But like, I really enjoyed working at Connections. I will say you got to have a friend because it wasn't even a busy day, and there's no way I would have kept my table if I didn't have my friend also remotely working with me. So that was the only thing, but the vibes were great. We sat if you the best place in my opinion is if you go in and there's the Starbucks for the Connections like cafe, not the eatery, and there's some seats like right by the big windows there, and they all have outlets and everything like that. It's booths, so if you sit over there you can like people watch all day while you're working, and I highly recommend it. And it was great. So the Connections cafe vibes are nice. What else at Epcot? I think I've pretty much covered it, but
I think you
Adam,
forgot one.
what did I
One
forget?
place. Impressions de France. An
Oh,
attraction that is in itself the best vibe.
I've never seen it.
Oh, girl, you gotta go.
the
I,
vibes
I
are
only
good.
go watch the Beauty and the Beast one.
Oh, this is even better. Now, the thing with Impressions de France, it's a travelogue that's been around since 1982. It recently got a 4K upgrade, so it looks crisp. It's not circle vision. It's not all around you, but it's like most of your like like all that you care to see is what is around you.
Where is this?
It's where Beauty and the Beast is.
Oh.
Yeah. This film it takes you through a certain era of France from all the perspectives you can. It's a wonderful time. Yeah, it's very transportative. I know we're talking mostly about like areas and stuff, but I have to take the opportunity to shout out Impressions de France whenever I can. It's like the best attraction at Epcot. Cosmic Rewind
Yes.
maybe actually is, but it's really great. And you have to see it. It's only open for very, very limited time. So you got to do it like rope drop it or end your day with it. There's no in between because LeFou is taken over. LeFou kills the vibes. But Impressions de France is so great.
I agree. Adam made me go see this and it was fantastic. Loved it. Thank you for doing that. It was great. I highly recommend instead of running to it at the beginning of the day, I would say the best vibes because it's at like 9 a.m., which is when the park opens. I don't even know how that works. So I would highly recommend waiting towards the end of the day, like park hop to Epcot in the afternoon or get to Epcot in the afternoon, end your day with Impressions de France, get you a baguette over there or some kind of delicious treat to have. I don't know if you're allowed to eat it in the theater, but eat it before or after. It's delightful. It's a great show and the vibes are great and it's fun. And I loved it.
I have another vibe, but it's for Universal. You got me thinking, Adam. Mine would definitely be that I don't know the name of it, but it's where the Last of Us food booth was. That air Sting Alley. It came to my mind. Sting Alley. I love Sting Alley. I like to take pictures down there. But it's usually just like so chill. And there are more places to kind of like sit before they put stuff in there for food booths. They haven't really been taking out like the big stuff anymore. Which is kind of sad. But I just love that area back there. And then during Horror Nights, that street with like the Boris window and the Kit Kat or the Kit Kat Club, yeah, whatever. You know, you know the one.
Kitty
That
Cat Club from Cabaret.
Kitty Cat Club. That Hit Cat. What is that from? Cabaret.
That's a candy.
Oh,
Kit Kat's the candy. Kitty Cat is the.
what is the one from Cabaret?
Isn't it Kitty Cat?
No, I think it's Kit Kat.
Oh, maybe it's. Oh, yeah. You're right.
I think I don't know. It's something.
No,
But
you're
I
right.
like that. I like that area a lot. I really do. Oh, sitting on the hubgrass in Magic Kingdom at night with ice cream from the plaza. The best. It's better when Dreamlights were there, but it's the best. Or mine are very situational vibes. Running around Fantasyland during Happily Ever After and riding Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but timing it during the Hunchback section and the finale. It's the best.
That sounds
It is the
amazing.
greatest vibes.
I used to love going on Splash Mountain while the fireworks were going off, and I can't wait to do that with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's going to be so much better. And I'm so excited. Those vibes are going to be really, really nice because she is looking beautiful. And we are a Tiana's Bayou Adventure Stan account over here.
I love all the trees that are on there now.
Indeed, I am looking forward to riding this new attraction. It's weird to be looking forward to a water ride. I'm not usually a water rider, but here I am looking forward to a new water ride. We did the original Splash once. We talked about that way ago, but yeah. Hopefully that's a good vibe. I'm sure it will be.
I like the Fever Dream vibes at the end of Journey into Imagination.
See, I hate those vibes.
Those are my favorite vibes.
Those vibes are terrifying. Terrifying vibes.
Did anyone have any other great theme park vibes before we wrap up?
Your mom. I don't know why I said that.
Everyone does love my mom. She's the cool mom.
I do love your mom.
She is a good vibe. Oh, you know what? For good spooky vibes, the Sir Henry's well, this is not good vibes for
Frosty?
Bella. Well, yes, Frosty, honestly. I was just gonna say like the courtyard area in general, like just
No, I
hanging
would
out
agree.
there.
That was good vibes up until the last 20 minutes of the event when I got terrorized.
Up until the chainsaw, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good vibe, though. And the Valentine's event is happening February 10th and 11th.
It
I'm so
is.
excited. My anniversary of my wedding is the 12th, but we're going away that weekend, and is the 10th a Saturday?
Friday.
It's Friday, perfect. So I'm going that Friday.
You should bring Kevin.
I I don't think he would go. He said, "You can go without me."
If I didn't do well at Sir Henry's, I don't think he would do well at all.
I think Kevin would probably die. He's okay at horror nights, but if he was in
I'm
here, he'd
okay
say,
at horror nights.
like, he hates horror nights, but like, he doesn't die. But I think he would die at Sir Henry's. It's a little spooky.
It's spooky. It's spooky. But you know what's not spooky? Our creator spotlight. As our longtime listeners know, we always like to shout out a creator in our space, shout out the community, and this one is pretty cool. It's called Batuu Pride. Speaking of great vibes, Galaxy's Edge. With Theme Park Workshop, I like to say that what we talk about is like the blueprint of the parks, which is the stories that theme parks tell and the stories that we tell within them. And I think kind of the core to telling a good story within a park, as a goer to the park, is a place that you feel safe. And what Batuu Pride is all about is founded by the wonderful, awesome, fantastic Dave Cobb in 2019, shortly after the land opened. But what Batuu Pride is, it's a celebration of queer Star Wars fandom and in-person bounding. It's also meetup events at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's for queer Star Wars fans, theme park fans, and allies. And it's been going on, again, every year since 2019. It started out as part of Dave and his friends' celebration of Disney Gay Days back then. And it's kind of branched off to be its own thing. Not that really Gay Days has its own like splintering off, but it wasn't just, they weren't scheduling it just to be part of Gay Days is what I'm trying to say. And it's not just the meetup. I'll tell you the days that they're meeting up and where. But what you can do right now, because tomorrow isn't Batuu Pride, but what you can do right now, there's art creation, prints, shirts, mugs, online pin selling, and more. These are all community made. Contact Dave at Batuu Pride if you want to design something. Kind of like if you remember the Park Stop Hate fundraiser that Alicia Stella and her co-host Ian did back during Pride Month. This is kind of the same thing. Dave and all these different community members are creating art to raise money for a great LGBTQ plus charity, which is It Gets Better. Right now, they have special enamel pins with a special 2024 logo. Those are $25 donations, and less than half the stock is left, which is about 50 pins. So if you want to get those, if you want to celebrate at the event, if you want to support It Gets Better, you can do that at Batuu Pride. The meetups this year are March 2nd, 2024. That one is at Disneyland as part of the Mini Gay Days Anaheim event. And then here in Orlando is May 31st at Hollywood Studios as part of Gay Days Orlando. So want to shout that out. I'm probably going to throw a clip of Dave talking about this from his Instagram. So he can give you some information on that. But we want to shout that out because, one, Dave, and two, again, vibes. Great vibes means you feel safe to tell your story and who you are. And that's a wonderful thing that they have gotten to do.
I love it. Slay Dave. Woo!
Woo!
Hey everybody, this is Dave. I'm the guy behind Batuu Pride, and I just wanted to tell you guys how this all started. Back in 2019, when I realized that after Galaxy's Edge opened, there would be a Gay Days with Galaxy's Edge, I thought, hey, wait a minute, we should do a Pride celebration at the edge of the galaxy. So me and my friends all made Oga's reservations within like 15 minutes of each other. And for like 2 wonderful hours on Gay Day 2019, we took over Oga's and turned it into a gay bar. We had coasters that I left behind. We gave out these pins. So we want to do it again. It ended up, I heard through friends that work at Lucasfilm that it got back to them and they really love it. They mentioned it on stage at Star Wars Celebration this year, which is crazy. So just so everybody knows what this is, there's no agenda, there's no program. This is a call to action for all you cool Star Wars nerds out there. We are gathering here at Galaxy's Edge West or Galaxy's Edge East at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So Hollywood Studios, Florida, Disneyland, California. This is a call to action for all of you to put together awesome, cool, Pride-inspired cosplay looks and bound here on Batuu for the day and celebrate Pride with the rest of us. I've also started a Threadless account where I'm calling on queer artists to submit designs for t-shirts or buttons or stickers or even prints that are all inspired by this idea of a pride celebration at the edge of the galaxy. I want all of the proceeds for this to go to an LGBTQI plus charity, which will be announced soon. I hope you can join me. Join all of our socials at Batuu Pride, everywhere you can look. And we're going to be sharing more as we get closer to each date. And if you're a queer artist and want to submit a design or an illustration or something, let us know, and you can help us raise money for a really great charity. So that's all for now. More to come here on all the socials. Until then, rising moons to you, and we'll see you on Batuu at Black Sparrow Outpost.
Yeah, I am super excited about this. I have not gotten to go to gay days. So I think that this year is definitely the year. I forgot that we were doing this segment today and talking about this today. I'm so glad that we did. But my point is that I wore this on accident, but I'm wearing my shirt that is rainbow and since says sounds gay, I'm in. So clearly
I love that.
I was ready for this. But yeah, I love this organization. I love what they're doing. I need a pin for sure. But yeah, I'm so excited to get to go to this on the 31st. It's going to be great.
Yep. And again, that's the 31st of May, not January, just so everyone doesn't show up. I mean, hey, the more queer folks at Hollywood Studios, the better. Just if everyone just shows up on January 31st. But it's May 31st at Hollywood Studios and March 2nd at Disneyland. But yeah. So with all that said, and with all these good vibes, unfortunately, at a close, Bella, where can the wonderful people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Flynn Rider's Nose, or on the Theme Park Workshop Twitter at Workshop TP. And also, my Twitter too, which is Bella Harvey with 2 Y's. Every time.
And Kelly, where can the wonderful people find you?
You can find me in all of my good vibes and Instagram, kels.hoff. You can find me on Twitter, killer_Kels. Kels is always within us. And you can also find me on the Theme Park Workshop Instagram at Theme Park Workshop. Same username on TikTok. I'm on there as well. So come say hi.
And you can find me, I didn't introduce myself at the beginning of the show, by the way. I'm Adam Johnson, and you can find me at AdamJ_film on Twitter. Again, I also run the Patreon, which is at patreon.com/themeparkworkshop. Yeah, special thanks again to our $20 patrons, our Amazing Adventures tier patrons, Jen Harvey, and Dwayne and Teresa Diker. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our other patrons. And thank you for listening. We have a very exciting season 5 up ahead. I'm excited for 2024. I hope you're excited for 2024. It's a big year, and it's a great time. I forgot rhymes. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Bye.